I basically dived across like flying Bruce Lee style and saved a rogue snowboard that was going down the hill from hitting a small group of children. Ooh, get that bushy beard.
Hey, what's up, guys? So we're back with Chris. He's been away from the channel for a while.
I'm back, baby!
Back-ish.
Back,
yeah, I just want to give you guys an update. You know, injuries happen sometimes, and so Chris is going to talk to us about his injury and his recovery and his road back to Snowboard Pro Camp and snowboarding. How did it all start?
Yeah, so we were doing a video filming a backcountry kicker that we had made on Blackcomb Mountain out in 7th Heaven area and like out of bounds.
Beautiful day.
It was an awesome day. Yeah, riding with a couple of buddies. And first time I hit the jump, I tried front flip tame dog.
So did I, yeah.
Yeah, and I just like landed on my back.
Yeah, we were just hucking all kinds of just tricks into powder, basically.
Yeah. And I kept like landing on weird positions and I was fine. And then the last jump, I thought, okay, I gotta like do a clean landing, just do a grab, try to get a bit of air.
Yeah, and at this point too, the landing was kind of tracked out, right? Like bomb holes in the powder.
Yeah, like not many people were landing on their feet, so there was a lot of people landing and creating big holes. And I think I just landed like right in one of the holes, right?
Yeah.
Probably I found like the biggest hole.
Yeah.
And landed like right in the bottom. And so it was like the only trick that I landed straight on my board where I wanted to go. But there was just so much resistance when I landed, I crumpled like an accordion. And yeah, I just heard like a lot of weird noise in my knee.
A grinding?
It was like a grinding, crunchy noise.
Yeah, and I heard Chris like yell, kind of say something like,
ouch.
Yeah. Ouch.
Ouch, I hurt myself.
And I ran down and yeah, you said you had some pain in your knee.
Yeah, I knew straight away I'd done something to it. Initially it hurt, but then after like 30 seconds, a minute, it felt okay. Chilled out, watched you guys do some more jumps.
Yeah.
Managed to snowboard out on it. I wasn't sure if I could, but just took it really easy. Snowboarded down to the lift, down to the gondola, rode out on the gondola. In terms of like, you know, we ride a lot and like falling a lot, and most of the times we're okay. And I guess you could kind of tell, like, I was wondering if you could tell, like, when I fell, you're like, oh, this is like Chris's like first bad fall of the season.
Yeah, I guess I could tell that there was something like special about that fall because you weren't getting up, because you sort of yelled. I think if you were okay, you probably would have told me to like drop in or something, but you were just kind of, I could tell you were concerned, so then that's why I skipped mine just to come and see. So just by your reaction, I feel like your brain knows that something is not quite right.
My brain knew. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. There was like 5 seconds I couldn't really hold it in. I was like saying whatever, ooh, my knee. Yeah. But then afterwards it was like I was grinding my teeth and internalizing the pain and just like, oh, you son of a gun.
Yeah, so that was pretty scary. Yeah, I remember thinking, because it was the start of the season, being concerned and yeah, just hoping for the best with like those kinds of falls or knee or shoulder, whatever it is. Like you kind of get some swelling and some pain. At first you're like, what's going on? And then I guess what was the next step? Seeing the doctor to kind of get a diagnosis of what might be going on?
Yeah, pretty much. Went to the physio. And they were playing around with it, but there's not too much you can do without like getting an image of what's going on in the knee. So there's a bit of play in the knee. Went to the doctor a couple days after that. He said the same thing.
So it was a bit loose? Your knee was a bit loose?
Yeah, I guess, it just wasn't tight. When you move it, you should get resistance from the knee. And they're just kind of guessing if it's the ligaments or not, but they can't tell for sure.
So then you saw the physio, saw a doctor, and then what was the next step after that?
You have to get a form to go get an MRI. So I got that from the doctor, went to the MRI, had that done. The radiologist looked at the results and then gave me some instant feedback, which was nice. And yeah, he calls me into the room, and the first thing he says is, you have a very interesting injury. So yeah, it's not really what you want to hear.
Not very empathetic on the doctor's part.
No, totally. So he sits me down. We go through what he's seen. So he mentions that the ACL is loose. You can see that it's a high grade 2 tear, which basically means it's torn, but not all the way through. So it's like a bit shredded, but it's still holding on.
Yeah.
And then the PCL, posterior cruciate ligament,
Okay.
which is probably the one of knowing ligaments in the knee. That was like the one I hadn't really heard much about.
No,
Normally it's like ACL, MCL.
I've never heard of a PCL before.
No, sounds like a delivery company.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the ACL is normally when you stretch it going forwards. It's like a jar.
Okay.
Stretches the ACL that way. And the PCL is the opposite.
Right.
So they're like opposite injuries. So it's not normal that you'd get them both at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else going on in there?
Yeah. So the radiologist tells me this, and I'm like, okay, yeah, it doesn't sound good. Cool. And then he's like, oh, that's not it. There's more. And he tells me that the meniscus, which is, I guess, like the soft, spongy bit that's kind of helping everything be nice and smooth in your knee,
Yeah.
it tore off on the root, kind of like a flag,
Okay.
and that it's like held on at the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
And one of those bits is come off. So it was kind of like flapping around in the wind a bit.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so that was the initial diagnosis. So not good.
And did they say like surgery time or heal, or what was what's the next step after that?
Yeah, and then the next step was to go see the orthopedic surgeon.
Yeah.
And she had to look through the MRI and had a feel of the knee. And yeah, we're looking at surgery. We're planning for surgery. That was kind of the deal. That was obviously a bit of a bummer. But I knew going in that was probably what was going to happen.
So at this point, I remember thinking that it was like possible that Chris could go have surgery within a month or so, and then maybe do a month or something of rehab, and then be back at like in the spring.
Yeah.
So that was like sort of our hopes.
That was real, like, best laid plans. Everything goes well.
Yeah. But then,
It all went downhill. Then the twist came. Yeah, so it turns out that the meniscus injury was actually an old injury that I got
okay.
about 15 years ago when I was teaching snowboarding and I was in the beginner area. I basically dived across like flying Bruce Lee style and saved a rogue snowboard that was going down the hill from hitting a small group of children.
That's how that initial injury happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
And I got it checked out, and initially it was like a slight tear, but then I think I re-injured it. It got like undiagnosed.
Okay.
Yeah, so that like flap hanging off, that was like an old injury. So once we figured that was an old injury, that changed the complexity of everything. And the surgeon was saying, from surgery to no surgery, I'm going to flip on the surgery. Which is kind of weird, because normally surgeons, they're like, yeah, let's do surgery. Like, that's my job. I want to cut people open. And
So couldn't she do the surgery?
because it's such an old injury that if it was new, it's kind of like it's like new sticky tape. It's gonna adhere back.
Okay.
But because it was an old injury, it's kind of like sticky tape you find covered in lint. No stickability.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you like try to stick it on, it'll just peel off.
Okay.
Yeah. And then she decided to leave the ligaments and get me in an uber futuristic, super expensive brace.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a brace.
I should go into it's probably the most expensive brace ever. You guys like won't even believe how expensive this brace is.
You thought snowboarding was expensive. Wait till you get a brace.
It cost four times my last snowboard.
So it was like a $2,500 brace.
Yeah, with tax.
Wow.
Yeah, $2,500.
Wow.
Woo! That's a lot of cheech on a brace.
And with the brace, what was the timeline they gave you for like wearing it and then coming back?
Because the ligament injuries are quite severe, then it's going to take a while. I just saw my orthopedic surgeon a few days ago, and she was saying I can go swimming in about 3 weeks
Okay.
from now.
So what have you been doing other than swimming?
And snowboarding.
And snowboarding, yeah.
and no trampolining either. A lot of biking. So I got my stationary bike
Nice.
and got that kind of pointed half out the window, half towards the TV, just depending on what I want to do.
Yeah.
A lot of time on the bike and a lot of exercises involving stretchy bands.
Nice.
A lot of stretchy band, like resistance exercises. So really mellow stuff. A lot of repetition and just trying to slowly build up the strength and the stamina.
Nice. So all those things are going to help to heal the knee, strengthen it,
Yeah.
tighten everything back up.
And there's like an evolution in the exercises. So first it's, like looking at which which muscles have gotten worse than others, working on those, and then kind of evolving the exercises to do other muscles, different types of exercises with the same muscles, just to give it that well-rounded exercise workout.
What about food-wise? Are you trying to eat like extra healthy and
Yeah, try to.
Yeah?
Yeah. It'll go in like fits and phases.
some good recipes?
I'll spend like a day making some like amazing vegan soup.
Yeah.
And it'll be like the best soup I've ever had.
Yeah.
And then the next day I'll be feeling like bummed out, and I'll just like eat like a vegan pizza and then like some chicken fingers and French fries.
Nice.
So yeah, it's not consistent, but I think it's good overall.
Cool. So what are your plans between now, back to snowboarding? So are you gonna like start to you slowly ramp up your recovery?
The way that I'm kind of looking at it is because the injury, it's quite a major injury, at least in like looking at my own long-term like snowboarding. I got to be extra careful with the knee now, and I got some like old back issues as well. So my mentality is basically go through this as a transition period, and then I have to come out the other side as like the butterfly basically, and like go in the cocoon. Because unless, I come out as some kind of like snowboard machine, like head to toe, could hurt myself again. So just minimizing the risk of injury.
Yeah.
And then also be able to maximize like doing tricks and all this stuff on the mountain. So yeah, just come out like Shaun White, but with more beautiful hair.
Nice. So the plan is then to be snowboarding next fall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good realistic aim is the fall. If I
Nice.
could squeeze in like late summer, dog days of summer,
Yeah.
do a bit of side slipping, and just kind of have to see how it goes. I'm trying to see the surgeon every 6 weeks, and each time I see her, we're kind of like updating the goals and what I can expect to do.
Cool. So we might be doing some snowboarding in New Zealand or Australia in September, October. So
I'll be side slipping there.
yeah,
Yeah.
maybe in the snow center in Dubai in October.
Yeah, even when I come back, there's going to be, slowly, easy getting into it.
Yeah.
But at least I'll be out on the snow and getting a lot more vitamin D than I get right now.
You don't need very much.
This is true.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing your story, Chris.
Yeah.
And if you guys have an injury story, it'd be great to hear about it down in the comments. And we're going to try and get Chris out into some more videos over the next 6 months. Keep you guys updated. Maybe give us an insight into a recipe or two as well.
I got a lot of times for recipes.
Yeah.
A lot of cooking time.
We'll drag him out this summer for some hiking, or maybe take the camera into the gym and follow you on your training.
Yeah.
Awesome. And thanks everyone who's been asking about Chris. And yeah, this is he's coming along. He'll be back better than ever.
Yeah, big shout out. I've been getting loads of support and people asking about where I've been on the live chats. I feel kind of sorry for Kevin. He's probably answered that question so many times in the live chats over the last couple months. And yeah, I really appreciate all the love, and it does like help keep me going that you guys are kind of paying attention to what's going on and asking where I've been.
Yeah, and if you guys are recovering from an injury as well, wish you guys the best luck in recovery too. These things happen sometimes. It's just a combination of patience and working hard to get back. It's good to have a community too where we can all support each other. So good stuff.
Yeah, totally.
All right, thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, good luck with your recovery, Chris.
Yeah, thanks, Kev.
All right.
And hopefully see you guys soon, and thanks for the love.
Later.
See ya.
All
Do
right.
you want to see what else I've been doing over the last couple weeks?
Uh-huh. Any final words? Oh my God.
Check this out.
Woo! Shaun White, circa 2003.
Oh yeah, baby. I'm the injured tomato. This is what you get to do when you got time on your hands.